Ah, urban living and small space gardening, they've always been about survival and ingenuity, haven't they? You know, during wartime rationing, city families found ways to produce food in back alleys, window boxes, and even balcony crates. It's quite remarkable. And even in today's apartments, limited space doesn't have to mean limited nutrition, does it? Balconies, terraces and small yards, they can yield a surprising variety of vegetables if you know which crops thrive in constrained conditions. The secret, you see, isn't just choosing the right seeds, it's pairing them with containers, vertical supports and microclimates to maximize growth. Quite fascinating, really. In this guide, we'll go beyond the usual advice and explore vegetables that historically and practically succeed in small spaces, along with detailed steps to make them flourish. It's going to be quite the journey. Leafy greens, you know, grow quite fast and can be harvested over and over again, even in small spaces. Leafy vegetables are really the backbone of balcony gardens because they mature quickly and, well, they tolerate shallow containers rather well. Spinach, lettuce, arugula and kale all have these compact root systems that don't need deep soil, so they're just perfect for window boxes or 5-gallon buckets. Historically, urban families would sow these crops every few weeks to ensure a continuous harvest, and that's actually a technique called succession planting. To put this into practice today, just fill a container with loose, nutrient-rich soil, sow your seeds evenly, and thin out the seedlings to prevent overcrowding. It's quite simple, really. You can harvest the outer leaves every week while the younger leaves keep growing, so you'll be able to get multiple meals from the same plant, which is rather handy. Adding a bit of liquid fertilizer or compost tea every 2 weeks encourages faster growth, and, well, it doesn't take up any extra space at all. You know, root crops can really thrive in deeper containers, and, well, they provide some essential nutrients too. Contrary to popular belief, root vegetables are actually excellent for container gardens, if you just give them the right depth. Carrots, radishes, beets and garlic, for instance, adapt quite well to deep pots or even those flexible grow bags. Back during the Second World War, urban gardeners relied on small confined plots to grow root crops, often mixing them with leafy greens to really maximize the calories per square metre. The key, honestly, is loose, well-draining soil that allows roots to expand without any obstruction. For example, a 10-litre bucket filled with a mixture of compost and sandy loam provides enough depth for carrots to develop fully. And if you plant radishes between slower-growing crops, you can save quite a bit of space, you see. With consistent watering and regular thinning, root crops can yield surprising amounts, even in constrained containers. Compact fruiting plants deliver high yield in minimal space. Tomatoes, peppers and bush varieties of beans and cucumbers are perfect for balconies because they can grow vertically. Historically, families in Europe used trellises, string supports or even chairbacks to support vines, saving ground space while increasing harvest. Tomatoes thrive in pots at least 12 inches deep with sturdy stakes or cages. Bush beans can be trained to grow upward along a railing. By combining vertical growth with compact soil beds, you can produce more vegetables per square metre than by planting sprawling varieties on open ground. A practical tip is to rotate container placement throughout the season, moving sun-loving crops to the brightest spots and shade-tolerant varieties to partially shaded areas. Herbs are multi-purpose companions that optimize small-space gardens. Herbs may seem secondary, but they are highly efficient in small spaces. Parsley, basil, chives and thyme grow in minimal soil and enhance meals and companion planting strategies. Historically, they were used in wartime and urban gardening to add flavour and medicinal value without occupying much area. For a balcony, plant herbs in small pots along railings or between larger containers. The microclimate created by taller plants can protect delicate herbs from wind or excessive sun. Harvest regularly to encourage new growth, and remember that herbs like basil really do thrive better when grown densely. So don't be afraid to plant several seedlings in one container and trim often. Even in small spaces, planting strategically allows continuous harvests and maximizes yield. WWP balcony and courtyard gardens often use succession planting, sowing fast-growing crops like radishes or lettuce between slower crops like peppers or tomatoes. Another method is intercropping, placing shallow-rooted greens alongside deeper-rooted carrots or beets. This ensures every container is producing something without competition. Applying this today involves planning your container layout by rooting depth and growth speed, staggering planting dates and combining crops that occupy different vertical and horizontal space. Over a single season, this approach can, multiply the output of even a handful of containers. Watering, soil and microclimate management are essential for success. Small space gardens are vulnerable to drying, overheating and nutrient depletion. Containers need consistent moisture but should not stay waterlogged. Historically, growers used drip watering techniques, self-watering troughs or mulch to retain soil moisture. Today, you can replicate this by adding a layer of straw, shredded leaves or coir to your containers. Nutrient management is equally important. Regularly add compost, worm castings or diluted liquid fertilizer to replenish what small containers cannot hold. Finally, consider sun exposure. Morning sun is ideal for leafy greens, while fruiting crops benefit from full-day light. Arranging containers according to sunlight patterns can significantly boost productivity. By carefully choosing plants, using vertical space, and managing succession, small balconies can become high-yield gardens. The combination of compact greens, root crops, vertical fruiting plants and strategic herbs creates a balanced garden that produces food year-round in very limited space. With attention to container size, soil quality, watering and microclimate, you can emulate urban gardeners from the past who fed families without access to fields. The principles are timeless. Control the environment, maximize space, and plan for continuous harvests. If you found this guide useful and want more practical small space growing strategies with historical context, subscribe to FarmLab and share this video with others who want to turn their balconies into productive, resilient gardens.